Hey guys, this is Vanessa Dyer, and I'm the Charlotte, North Carolina-based lifestyle blogger behind thecheekybean.com. With several successful years as a business owner, a first-time mom, and a deep passion for health and wellness, I'm here to share my honest, unfiltered advice on all things motherhood, relationships, travel, and more. So grab a coffee and join the conversation. This is the Cheeky Bean Podcast.
Hi guys, happy Wednesday. We have a really exciting episode today. For those of you who are interested in beauty and skin like I am, Toska Husted is on the show. Toska is one of the most sought after celebrity facialists in the country. She's got names like the Kardashians, J-Lo, Jennifer Aniston, and Dua Lipa on her roster of clients. She's been featured in Forbes, Vogue, Allure, Marie Claire, Elle, and many more. And she is on my podcast. Can you guys believe that? I am going to give you a little background on Toska. It's actually my own personal background. I met her several years ago at her spa where I actually received my very first facial ever. I was sitting in the waiting area when Toska walked in, and she sort of took me under her wing in terms of skincare. And I've been a good student, if I do say so myself. So she's super knowledgeable when it comes to skincare. She has this beautiful spa in South Park. Everyone should go check it out. It's super luxurious and just stunning. And like I said earlier, she is famous among celebrities for giving the best facial. So, since we are heading into a new season, we are going to talk about how to change your skincare routine appropriately. We're going to talk about cleansing, double cleansing. We're talking about dewy skin. We're going to talk about all the facial beauty wellness things we should be doing. And guys, guess what? She is dropping some exclusive information on my podcast to all of you guys. So I'm really excited about that. I am also going to just give you my 2 cents and little knowledge nuggets for things that I really love that she's taught me. These are a couple things I've been doing that she introduced me to that I just cannot get enough of. No gatekeeping around here. So, like I said, adding my 2 cents. But first is adding the Brightening Peel to a facial bar treatment. It's a $30 add-on and you don't actually peel from it. So if you're a working girly and you got to go into the office, maybe you got to be on Zoom, no need to worry about the peeling. It actually does not peel. It's really mild, but let me tell you, the biggest game changer. Your skin will literally glow and stay super dewy without any need for makeup for about 10 days afterwards. And then the other thing that I've been doing with her for years is remodeling. This is a treatment they do when you book an in-room 60-minute facial. So you're going to go in one of those back rooms. But it's basically like getting a little mini facelift without any surgical procedures. So when you leave, everything just feels really nice and tight and lifted. Game changer as well. I do the facial bar treatment with the add-on peel once a month, and then I try to go like twice a year for the in-room treatments. So anyway, I'll let Toska get into all the details for us with that. Toska Husted, welcome to the Cheeky Bean Podcast.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited you're here. I wanted to do this episode for so long. I feel like you are a household name in Charlotte, but also worldwide these days. So I feel very blessed to have gotten to know you over the last few years.
Yeah, it's been an interesting last few years. And we met, 5 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's been lovely to see you as well, grow into the mother that you are now and just have a wider audience. So yeah, happy to be here with you today.
Well, thank you. I want to kick it off. I know part of your story, but I don't know the whole story. And for those who are listening who may not be familiar with you, how did you get into the skincare industry?
So I grew up in Kosovo, and taking pride in the way women look and present themselves is a big thing. It's in our culture, but I think it's in the culture of many countries in the world. A lot of times I say that I would be watching the news, let's say in Beirut, and there would be a bomb going off, but the newscaster, the lady reading the news, would be totally made up, looking perfect. Because that's how we're raised. We never leave the house just anyhow. You always think that, you take pride in the way you look. So I grew up around not just my family, my mom, my aunts, my cousins, everybody. So once I moved to London, so I moved from there to London when I was 20 years old. And I was always curious about beauty, and being in London, that's just a step up. And when the opportunity came to go to Steiner, which was the gold standard for beauty in London, I took the place and I went to school. I was curious to learn more so about myself, how to take care of myself, but then that grew into something more.
Yeah. Well, and now you've taken that and have grown a huge brand that is widely recognized all over the place. And you've got all these A-list celebrities on your roster of clients. So how do you go from being in school in London to creating the most luxurious spa in Charlotte and growing your brand to, beyond Charlotte?
It did not happen overnight. I went to school in 96.
Okay.
And in between that time and when I opened the spa in Charleston and then in Charlotte, it was many years of pretty much working and learning more and just developing my skills. So then when I moved to the States, I saw a void in the market that was, it was something, I saw a lot of plastic surgeons and a lot of medi-spas, but then there were the fluffy facials, I call them, but there was nothing in between. Mm-hmm. I thought that I could bring something that there was a need for, and basically it's more geared towards wellness and taking care of your skin rather than looking for that quick fix. Mm-hmm. So that's how I wanted to share my experience and my knowledge, and that's how I started my first very, very small spa. It was one room, just me, and then it grew from there.
Wow. Did you have somebody kind of like a mentor to you that was guiding you on how to go from one room to where you're at now?
Not at all. I was literally one night awake and I Googled, how do you start a business? And then it said, you have to go to the bank and open a business account and you have to register with the Secretary of State. And I just went like little by little, one step at a time.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so inspiring. I met you when you were at East Boulevard, which was a beautiful location, but your spa in South Park is absolutely stunning and so luxurious and high end, and just like watching that evolve into what it is today is very inspiring, but also it's such a staple in Charlotte for people to come visit, and you've had celebrities come to the spa in South Park. So I would love for you to talk about, how did you get your name out there to the celebrities?
I know, especially living in Charlotte.
Yeah.
Every time I go to LA or somewhere else and I see one of those celebrities, they'll ask me, are you still in Charlotte? I'm like, yeah, why not?
Yeah.
But it was, my first celebrity client was Jennifer Aniston, and she was filming in Atlanta at the time. This is probably a good 7 years ago. And she needed somebody, between all the makeup and the self-tanning that they were doing for her filming, she needed someone to go and do a really good facial on her. And it happened that someone in her team said that there was somebody in Charlotte. So they called me, and they didn't tell me first who it was. But then, so I went to Atlanta and I saw Jennifer Aniston, and then it was word of mouth. Hollywood is small.
Yeah.
If they like something, they will share with their people.
Well, and I think when you were telling me this story before, you had mentioned that you actually didn't think the email was real at first, right?
I had to look it up, and I went by the name of the makeup artist. I was like, okay, so this is the makeup artist that's working with her. Who could it be? So that led me to her name. But the other cool thing about that time was I had just started working in Charlotte. It was a brand new spa. And that particular Monday that they were asking for the appointment, I had 5 clients booked for that day, and 3 of them were first-time clients. So I went back to them and I said, I cannot cancel 5 clients to come to this appointment, not knowing that.
Yeah.
But she was very sweet, and she said, I do not want her to cancel her clients. So we scheduled for the Sunday before. So I went on the Sunday. Yeah.
Wow.
She's very sweet that way.
Yeah. And when you got there, were you like, oh my gosh?
No.
You weren't starstruck at all?
No, not at all.
Oh my gosh. You're so poised. I feel like I wouldn't be able to contain my excitement in that.
No. I'm usually, when I go to those appointments, I'm so focused on what needs to be done.
Yeah.
Because just setting up for an appointment, making sure that everything is working properly, nothing spilled during transport and all that. I'm in I call it in my zone. So I do all that. And then when they come in, it's just another person.
Yeah. That's so cool. I know. And from there, I mean, you've been with the Kardashians and Dua Lipa and Jennifer Lopez. And then talk to me too. You've done some of the male actors or celebrities as well now, right?
Trying to think who I've done from the male ones. With J-Lo, it was A-Rod as well at the time. He was like, what about me? So that happened. And then Billy Porter. I don't think of any other men top of my head right now.
What was A-Rod like?
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah.
Takes great care of his skin, obviously.
He does. And that's a thing that I've noticed a lot in the past year or two, especially here at the spa in Charlotte. We have more men come now than we've ever had before. Yeah. So that's been refreshing.
Yeah. I actually brought my husband in. That was my Christmas gift. We did like a day date, and one of the stops on our day date was a facial at the facial bar, and it was his first facial ever. And I could not believe how good his skin looked when we left. Like, my skin always looks good, but I was just looking at him in the car. He was glistening and glowing, and I was like, look at your skin.
That's good.
I know.
Good. Yeah, men are conditioned to pretend that they don't care because it's the macho thing in them, but they actually do care. They do care a lot.
Yeah.
They don't wear makeup. They don't cover up any imperfections and all that. So slowly they're coming to terms with the whole wellness thing.
Yes.
And they're actually, and it has to be simple for men.
Yeah.
I never would give a male client a 10-step routine unless they ask me for it. Because they're simple. They just want to use the same cleanser and maybe a sunscreen. So that's fine.
Yeah.
At least they're doing something.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, for somebody who may be a novice to facials, or it might be their first facial ever, and they have no idea where to start in terms of skincare after they leave, what would you recommend? What's a good starting place for people?
So the first question and the main question I would ask the facialist is, what do I need to do at home once I leave here to maintain the results? Because you could go to a facial spa or anything like that and have the most amazing treatment. But if you go home and you don't continue with whatever was done, then you will just lose the results.
Right. Like, if somebody needs a very simple routine, what would you recommend their starting point is? Is it, like a cleanser, a toner, and a moisturizer? Do you think it should still be 5 steps? What is the baseline there?
It all depends on the lifestyle of the person and their skin and their age and where they live and all that. It's a conversation. If, let's say, you're a busy mom and I'll ask you, do you have more time in the morning or in the evening? You say, like, I have more time in the evening. Then I'll, give you, let's say, a good serum to use at night, add to that simple routine that you do in the morning. But if you're busy in the morning, it would be as simple as quick cleanse, maybe P50 and a sunscreen, or as simple as you want to. That cleanse is important. The SPF is important.
Yeah. Would you say those are probably the 2 most important things in a skincare routine?
Cleansing and protecting, for sure.
Okay. I also want to ask what your opinion is on double cleansing. I listen to tons of podcasts about skincare. I like to read about skincare, and I've seen so much information around how a double cleanse is so good for your skin. Would you agree with that?
Definitely. So the double cleanse, if we're going to wear sunscreen during the day and then you might wear makeup and all that, your first cleanse should have some good oils in it, so you're kind of gliding off that of your skin.
Okay.
And then the cleanse will, properly cleanse. So that first cleanse needs to kind of wipe it off instead of pushing it into the skin.
Okay.
You could even cleanse twice with the same cleanser, depending on what cleanser you have. But yeah, just making sure that you're getting everything off properly.
Okay. So I do it's called makeup breakup oil, and it's actually a cleanser and a makeup remover in the same formula. And then I use the late EV after that. Okay. Perfect. I was like, I think I'm doing it right.
Yeah, you are. I mean, your skin looks great. So
well, thank you. I've had a lot of help.
Yeah.
Well, I also want to talk to you about skincare cabinets. So I know you post your skincare cabinet on Instagram stories, and it's beautiful. And I love how you have it set up, and you'll talk about how you rotate through per season. How should people have their skincare cabinets set up? And is it important for skincare to be refrigerated?
Some of the products will feel nicer on the skin, and they might even offer additional benefits if they're cold, especially if you have sensitive skin or are prone to redness, or maybe you've been out in the sun too long that day. So applying that cold product will soothe the skin and calm down the redness. Other than that, there are products that shouldn't be in the fridge. Let's say Mask Vivant. If you put Vivant in the fridge, it's going to be so hard it won't even apply properly. But as far as how I store my skincare in the cabinet is in the order that you apply them.
Okay.
So you want to have your cleansers and your P50 and your mask and your serum in the order that you apply them. That way it's easier and you save time.
Okay. And what order should you apply skincare in?
So you want to start with the cleanser, and then we're going to exfoliate. So that's where the P50 comes in. If you're going to do a mask, that's when you do the mask. And then you remove it. And after the mask, it's the serum, eye cream, moisturizer, and SPF.
I didn't know that about the mask.
Yes.
Okay.
So cleanser, P50 mask, rinse off.
Okay. See, I learned something today already. I always did cleanser, then the mask, then my toner, serums, moisturizer.
Yeah. So the P50, because you want to exfoliate your skin, and then that way the mask will penetrate better into the skin.
Okay. Is P50 the number one toner that you would recommend for people?
P50 is not a toner.
Oh, I'm learning something else.
And this doesn't come from me. This comes from the creators of P50. P50 is an exfoliating toner. So it has all the properties a toner has, but it also has all the good acids in it and the vitamins and the extracts. So it's an all-in-one. It's a facial in a bottle.
Okay.
It is my number one product, will always be, everyone should have a P50.
Yeah, it's widely talked about as well in like magazines and publications, and people say it's like the holy grail of all toners, even though it's not actually a toner.
Yeah. So just celebrated 50th anniversary. So P50 has been around for 50 years now.
Wow.
And
it's a long time.
There have been many attempts to copy it or create something similar to it, but it's never worked. It's unique.
Yeah, it definitely is. I love how it kind of tingles on your skin too. It has like a nice tingling, almost like a burning sensation, but in a good way.
Yeah, we call it a stingle.
Yes. Yeah, perfect. The stingle.
Stingle.
Well, talk to us about your skincare routine. You are absolutely stunning. Your skin is flawless. You look way younger than you probably are. I don't know your actual age, but you are just absolutely flawless. So give us kind of what your secrets have been in terms of your skincare routine and what's worked for you, what hasn't.
Obviously, I have a lot of skincare because that's what I work with.
Right.
And that's what, I like to test things so you don't have to. I try to use things that will work for me today because our skin is changing all the time. Mm-hmm. Let's say yesterday, I was flying back from somewhere. Today, my skin it's not going to feel as strong as before that flight. So I will apply something that's going to be more soothing, more calming. And then tomorrow, let's say the temperature drops and there's no humidity outside. Again, I will listen to my skin and apply what I think would be best. So it doesn't have to be complicated. It's, again, just something that you would talk with your esthetician about and say, like, help me understand, like, what do I do if I'm breaking out? Mm-hmm. What do I do if I wake up in the morning and my skin is really dry? What do I use? So then just, you need that guidance.
Yeah.
It's very personal. Skincare is very personal.
Yes, it is. Is there something that you would recommend for anti-aging, kind of like a P50, but for the anti-aging realm of skincare?
Yeah, so P50 is for anti-aging too.
Okay.
So there's 6 different formulas, and there are some that are geared towards more anti-aging. Let's say the P50V, the V stand is for vitamin enriched. So that would be a good. But then we can add serums. I like serums, and they all do different things. So if we're looking anti-aging, maybe we're looking firming or fine lines, or there's so many options, and it all depends what we're targeting.
Yeah.
For signs of aging versus someone who's in their 50s and they need more lift and tone are 2 different products.
Yes. Yeah, that makes sense. What is your skincare routine, like a 10-step process, or do you kind of keep it pretty minimal?
Some days it's 10, some days it's 3.
Yeah.
It all depends on the mood and the time. And this morning, because I had to come here, it was almost 10 steps.
Yeah.
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 But it's a ritual. I enjoy it. And I think everyone should have, 3-4 minutes in the evening to just kind of be with themselves and take care of their skin. We think of, it's very interesting how we focus on the skin on our face.
Yes.
Like we're all about the face and the facials, but we never think of the skin that it's like it's covering like all your organs. It's your largest organ. It's not this whole vanity thing that we're making it sound
Right.
like. It's skincare is taking care of your skin. It's not the fast lane to the deepest layer of your skin,
Right.
for the sake of vanity.
Yeah.
I'm very much into the less is more and just make sure that your skin is healthy. That's the only time it's going to look good.
You actually taught me, like, I always knew to do my skincare like on my face and down my neck. And then you were like, no, you should actually be putting it on your chest too. And
Absolutely.
I don't know
Yeah.
why that never crossed my mind, but it makes perfect sense. Like the sun is still hitting your chest. Your chest
Yes.
is, it's still skin. What would you recommend for taking care of your skin on other parts of your body?
There are body treatments, but again, a nice exfoliating product and a good moisturizer. Of course, if you're going to be out, you're going to use that SPF.
Yes.
Just make it part of your routine rather than do the 10 steps on your face and totally neglect the rest of your skin.
Right. Would you say that people should come kind of do like a body treatment once a year or every 6 months? Like that's something that I definitely don't do. I'm really good about moisturizing. I'm really good about sunscreen. But to your point, I focus a ton on my face and I'm like very regimented about coming into the spa. I come in once a month and I get my facial and I do the $30 add-on peel that you introduced me to, which is a major game changer. I was like, I'm in love with that peel. I wish I could buy it in bulk and do it at home. But
That's why we don't sell it.
I know, exactly. It keeps me coming back. But like, what should we be doing in terms of like a little bit extra, I guess, in terms of taking care of?
Yeah, if body treatment, let's say, if again, it depends on budget and how good you want to look and if that's part of your whole lifestyle. But let's say you're going on a vacation or coming back, that would be a good time to, get that skin exfoliated and looking good, or maybe when you come back. But now we also do anti-aging body treatments, and there's products that we use on those. So we do lymphatic drainage, and then we do microcurrents for lift, and they can be as simple or as advanced as you need them to be. But again, just that whole taking care of your skin as a whole.
Yeah. I love lymphatic drainage.
Yeah.
It also just feels good.
Right?
It's kind of like getting a massage, It's like you're killing two birds with one stone.
Yeah. So that was always my thing. Get the results, but feels good while you're doing it.
Yes. Yeah. You guys are also one of the only spas I know that even when you come get a facial, like your arms will get massaged and your shoulders and your neck gets massaged. And it kind of feels like you're getting a massage while also getting a facial, which is so lovely.
Yeah, I always wanted that. I wanted the results. I basically wanted the client to fall asleep and wake up looking better.
Yes.
That's always been my goal. So
yeah, I think you've achieved that. That's absolutely my experience, which is just, like I said, usually it's like very medical if you're going in for a facial and it's kind of like just about the skin and not the relaxation portion of it. So I love that about Toska European Spa.
thank you.
What are your thoughts on Botox and fillers?
I get this question so often. It's personal. It's personal. And I say to clients, if there's a line that, if you have 11s, let's say on your forehead, and you wake up in the morning and that's the only thing that you're like seeing, you might as well go and try and do something about it. Try it. You might love it, you might hate it, but you've tried it. I never want to judge like someone who does it or doesn't do it. I think Botox has been around long enough that we're not dying from it. I don't think we are. I will never say to a client, don't do this or do this. I will work with them. If somebody wants to do it, we'll find the ways so that it lasts longer.
Okay.
Or if they don't want to do it, then we will find a way to soften those lines and, have that more youthful look without going down that path. So again, it's personal, and we're there.
I've seen all these like kind of trends on TikTok and social media about, I think they're called frownies, maybe. It's like a product that you wear while you sleep, and it's supposed to kind of help soften your fine lines and wrinkles. Do you believe in those? Do you think they actually work? What's your thoughts on those?
I haven't seen that, but I imagine it's like a silicone type.
Yeah, it's almost like a piece of tape.
Yeah. So I don't know what's like, just saying tape. I'm thinking like what's in that thing that now you're putting on your skin.
Right.
But the right way to do it would be thinking more of a long-term, effect, not just
right.
You want to treat that skin with care and like put some thought behind that.
Yeah, I feel like, so I haven't personally tried them, but from what I've seen is people say they actually work, but I don't think their skin actually stays like that unless they're using it probably once or twice a day, every single day. It seems like, if you use it once a week, it like looks good for the next day. And then, your fine lines and stuff, as you express your face, probably start to go back to how they looked before.
I can imagine like you would start with one piece, then where do you stop? Because then it would be like, tape here, tape here, tape here.
Right. Yeah. Your whole face is just
might as well put
like
a whole
mummy.
sheet.
Yeah. No kidding.
Yeah. I stay away from the TikTok trends.
Yeah.
Big time. I don't even. There's so much out there. I feel sad for the young girls that pretty much fall prey to those trends. And I didn't even know some of them were so bad until this summer. My niece came to visit. She's 16. And we were at the beach, and she said, I'm going to go outside when it's UV index 10, and I'm going to tan for 30 minutes, and that's how you get a good tan. I was like, what are you talking about? And then my oldest daughter, she was like, that's got to be a TikTok trend. And we looked, and it was all over TikTok. So kids are going out there, UV index 10, tanning with no SPF for 30 minutes, and that's the saddest thing that you could do. That's
so damaging
skin
to
cancer.
Skin.
Yeah. Waiting to happen. But that's TikTok.
I know. Anybody can put anything out there, and then if it goes viral and takes off, it's a new trend, and next thing you know, you have your niece and everybody following. So
we were trying to do every day with our clients at the spa, and we talk to them. We're trying to educate people rather than influence them.
Yeah.
So rather than just say, hey, here's this product, I really like it. It's my favorite. We want to educate them and say like, here's the product. This is what it does. Have that knowledge, and then you make the decision.
What are your take on medical grade skincare? Because most of what you guys carry in the spa is all medical grade or the same level as medical grade, correct?
So medical grade doesn't exist. It's a marketing term.
Ah, okay.
Yes, and it is made to sound like it's better than something else. The only medical grade, if we have to put it into a category, would be something that a doctor would prescribe. It's a prescription.
Okay.
So that would be medical grade. But if I have a skin condition that needs a prescription, that's something that I'm going to use for the short term, and then I'll go back to my normal skincare. Like, why would I use medical grade if I'm not sick?
Right.
That skin doesn't need medical grade. Like, where does that stop? Are we going to use medical grade shampoo?
Right.
Are we going to eat genetically modified food? Like, I mean, where does it end?
Yeah.
So again, it's a marketing term. I'm old school when it comes to skincare. I think skincare is a journey. The health of it is more important than anything else. And when you treat it that way, then the skin looking good comes with it. Mm-hmm. We're not chasing like the skin like glowing, looking beautiful. We're chasing like the health of it.
Right.
And so the glow comes from that.
Yeah. Do you think that there's a difference in the higher end skincare products versus what you can find at a Sephora or drugstore beauty brand?
Yeah. So we don't call any of our skincare lines medical graded, but they do come from Europe, most of them. And they do have rules and regulations, and they go through a lot of testing, and they've been around for a long time. So yeah, the quality is going to be in the formulas, in the ingredients. And again, I think the the results will come from having that personalized approach to it, because we have over 300 products at the spa, with the idea that one doesn't fit all.
Right.
So curated is the way to go.
Yeah.
I mean, Sephora might have products that are good. I'm sure they do, but it's the advice that goes with that. I want to have skincare experts advising clients.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense. For somebody who maybe is in college, or maybe they just don't have the means to afford a higher end skincare product, what would your advice be to them? Is there a starting point that they can start with? Is there one product over another that if they can only afford one, they should lean into versus, a whole line?
Yeah. Everyone should start with a good cleanser and a good sunscreen.
Okay. What's your favorite sunscreen?
Anything from Color Science.
Okay.
Yeah. They're mineral. Most of them are 50 SPF. They look good on the skin.
Yeah. What about favorite cleanser?
Any of the BR Lace.
Okay.
Just a gentle, milky cleanser.
I love those too. They're so moisturizing and hydrating on the skin. It's like you put it on and then even when you take it off, it's not abrasive at all.
Exactly, yeah.
It really kind of leaves your skin nice and dewy. That's probably my favorite cleanser. I've never strayed from the Lay EV, but
that's good.
Yeah. Okay, talk to me about the seasons are getting ready to change. We're getting ready to head into fall and then winter. And I know you have talked about your skincare should also change together with seasons. So what should we be looking for in our skincare heading into fall and winter? What should we be changing in our skincare products? Give us the rundown on that.
Yeah, so, I'll get a client come and say, oh, I've had this, let's say this serum, and it's not working anymore for me. I'm like, the product is the same. Your skin has changed.
Yeah.
So, products don't change, your skin changes. So yeah, as we go through seasons, and it's not only just the season, we are a combination of internal factors, external factors. We're so unique, like every person is so unique. But if we have to generalize, here in Charlotte, the humidity levels will drop. Hopefully we'll start seeing some cooler weather. So we just adjust accordingly, maybe a little bit more hydrating products, maybe a little bit richer night cream. It all depends on the person. But yeah, we as we go towards winter, and especially if we start using heating in the homes, that's when the skin starts getting really dehydrated. So it's just, paying attention to what your skin needs.
In terms of hydrating like that, because you made a good point. Like I notice when we head into fall and winter, my skin obviously gets a lot drier, and I never thought about the internal factors of like inside the home, and it's no longer AC, it's now heating. Are there certain things like a hydrating spray or a mist that people can put on even over their makeup that you would recommend that kind of helps like infuse that hydration throughout that season?
Yeah. I mean, you could, for instance, there's the little L'Oxygenant. You could mist that a couple of times during the day just to give it a little refresh. But your main hydration for your skin is going to come from your food, from whatever you eat.
Okay.
It's not going to be all the water that you drink all day long. It's going to be that slow releasing water that comes mainly from vegetables and some fruit. So upping that dose will definitely help the skin.
Okay. So what's the difference between eating the fruits and the vegetables versus drinking water?
I say eat your water. So drinking water, especially if you drink like huge amounts of it. I'm not saying drink water normally, when you're thirsty and just go about your day. You're just flushing when you drink water all day long. It doesn't. It's not gonna go like to your skin. It's not gonna stick. It's gonna help, but it's not gonna fix like dehydrated skin.
Okay.
But when you eat the vegetables, let's say some of them like have a high content of water, 70% and up, like cucumbers or watermelon or any of those, that's slow releasing water. That will slowly, replenish your water, and it'll make you more hydrated, like everywhere.
Okay. So people should kind of look for high content or high water content fruits and vegetables and incorporate those more heavily into their diet.
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that the whole trend of drinking, it started with 8 glasses or 2 liters a day. It started in the 80s by Evian.
Oh.
So suddenly in the 80s, all the supermodels and everyone around them started walking around with bottles of Evian.
Yep.
And that's what started that trend. And now that has continued. There's a lot of, money to be made from that. You have all the different big flasks and
Yes.
everyone is walking around carrying those.
I've got mine here.
You got one there. And I'm like, why?
Yep.
Unless you're exercising a lot and you need to replenish, just drinking water when you're thirsty, I think that's the way to go. But
Okay. What does a typical day look like for you in terms of eating?
I'm not a breakfast person, never have been. I'm more of a lunch person, late lunch and then light dinner. But yeah, I actually stopped eating meat. I only eat fish now, about 3-4 months ago. Nothing to do with anything but the love for animals.
Aw.
Yeah, so it's been an adjustment, but I feel good about it.
Yeah. Do you feel any differently? Like, have you noticed any physical changes or?
No, well, in the beginning, when you stop eating meat, at least for me, it was more of a noticing the lack of protein, like nails and hair and all that. So that's when I started adding some fish into my diet. But other than that, it's been great.
Yeah.
It's good for my mental health. I just,
Love it. What's next for Toska European Spa? I know I have heard rumblings of a new location in Miami, and I know that we briefly talked about it, but give us the tea.
Yeah, so since we opened, especially the location in South Park, we've had people fly in from all sorts of cities in the country, and it just became kind of like a natural progression to think that we need to share this experience in other cities, and how do I do it?
Yeah.
That's why it's taken a minute. But yeah, we haven't announced anything anywhere else. I'm going to do it here.
Yeah.
We will open in Miami in spring of 24. We will also open in Dallas and Nashville.
No way. Oh my gosh, that is so exciting.
Yeah, we have big plans. And
Miami, Dallas, and Nashville. If you guys are in those cities, you got to look for Toska.
Yeah.
I promise you won't regret it. You can thank me later. That's so exciting. So will you stay in Charlotte or do you have plans to move?
No, I will stay in Charlotte. I will spend time in each one of the locations as needed.
Yeah.
That's why I love Charlotte, because we have the best airport. I can get everywhere
you can.
in no time.
Yeah. Easy direct flight. They're short. They're all an hour and a half, hour.
That's it.
Nashville's probably not even.
Yeah.
That's so exciting. And so when will Dallas and Nashville open?
They will all open next year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So exciting. Big things happening.
Yeah, I need to order my cowboy boots, I think.
Yes, yeah. I know. You gotta figure out all your favorite places to listen to live music in Nashville, and maybe you'll become a Dallas Cowboys fan. I know your husband works with you as well, right?
He does, yeah.
How did that, can you talk a little bit just about how that happened and the relationship of working together on a business, and is it easy? What's that dynamic like?
It's an interesting dynamic. I like working with him because I don't need to finish a sentence. He will get what I'm trying to say. And, I have all his support. But then again, any couples that work together, you end up, all you talk about is work.
True.
So that can be a little tricky. Periodically, I will say okay, I'm going to go away for 2 days. I need a break from this.
Yeah.
So, but it works. It works well. Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine it's probably hard to separate the two just because
it's impossible.
Yeah, you're integrated in that all day, every day.
Yeah.
Well, very cool. I'm so excited that you came. This was such a great conversation. Do we want to do a giveaway?
Oh, for sure.
All right. What do we want to give away?
We do want to give away a P50.
100%.
What else?
The Holy
What's your
Grail.
favorite?
I love the Future Brightening Touch Serum.
Let's do it.
So good.
I have not stopped using that thing since day one when I got it.
Yeah.
So it's been a couple of years now. It's really good. So yeah, let's do the Brightening Touch.
Okay. P50 and the Brightening Touch Serum. So
if you guys will follow at Toska European Spa and at the Cheeky Bean Podcast, and then rate and review on Apple Podcasts, you'll be entered in to win. We'll pick a winner in, let's say, 2 weeks.
Sure.
Give people time to listen and enter in. Awesome. Well, where can everybody find you? Give us your social media handles.
It's Toska European Spa on Instagram. I don't think I'm on TikTok. Might be there, but and in Charlotte, in South Park.
Okay. And the website?
ToskaSpa.com.
Got it. This was great. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Guys, as always, going to end this podcast with a little giveaway. All you have to do is rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts. You're going to want to take a screenshot of your review and send it to at the Cheeky Bean Podcast on Instagram. Also, make sure that you're following Toska Husted at Toska European Spa on Instagram, as well as my podcast page at the Cheeky Bean Podcast. It takes less than a minute. It's super easy. I hope this show brought you tons of value, and I can't wait to chat with you next week.